Children, it is a continuation of bridge course for 10th standard. So now let us discuss about the coordinate geometry. So to locate the position of an object or a point in a plane, we require two perpendicular lines. One of them is horizontal line and the other is vertical line. The plane is called the Cartesian or coordinate plane and the lines are called the coordinate axis. Here these two axes are called coordinate axis. The horizontal line is called the x-axis. Here x dash, this is the x-axis, and the vertical line, that is y dash, is called the y-axis. The coordinates of the axis divide the plane into four parts called quadrant. Here there are four parts. First part, second part, and third part. This is fourth part. And the coordinate axis divide the plane into four parts and each part is called quadrant. And this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, this is the fourth quadrant. The point of intersection of the axis is called the origin. This point is called the origin. And the distance of a point from a y-axis, consider here there is a point. Here there is a point. This is a point P. And the distance of this point from the y-axis, here there is a y-axis, and this distance, it is 0, 1, 2, 3 is there. This is called the x-coordinate or abscissa, and the distance of the point from the x-axis, here 1, 2 is called y-coordinate or ordinate. Here the distance of the point from the y-axis is 3 and distance of the point from the x-axis is 2. So 3, 2 is the coordinates of the point P. If the abscissa of a point is x and the ordinate is y, so generally let us denote the abscissa as x and y point as or ordinate as y. So xy is called the coordinates of the point. Generally the coordinates of the point is denoted as xy. The coordinates of a point on the x-axis are of the form x0. For example, if here there is a point, the coordinates of this point is 3, 0. And if here there is a point on the x-axis, the coordinates of this point is minus 1, 0. So generally, if the point is on the x-axis, its coordinates is x0. If the point is on the y-axis, its coordinate is 0y. For example, if you take the point on y-axis, its coordinates is 0, 4, like this way. And the coordinates of the origin are 0, 0. Here there is a origin, its coordinates are 0, 0. And the coordinates of the points are of the form plus, plus, minus, plus, minus, minus, plus, minus. You know that in the first quadrant, both x and y are positive, plus, plus. And in the second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive, that is minus x. In the third quadrant, first x and y both are negative, so it is minus, minus. And in the fourth quadrant, here x is positive and y is negative, that is plus, minus. This is about the sign of the coordinates in first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. And here if x and y are not equals, then you know that xy is not equals to yx. If x equals y, then xy is equals to yx. This is about the coordinate axis and Cartesian plane. Here there is a question, in which quadrant or on which axis do each of the points minus 2, 4, 3, minus 1, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, minus 3, minus 5 lie? Here depending upon the sign, we can say that in which quadrant they lie, or on which axis they lie. Here minus to 4, that is minus plus. Minus plus, that is minus 2 4 lies in the second quadrant. 3 minus 1, that is plus minus, that lies in the fourth quadrant. Minus 1 0, here y value is 0, means it lies on x axis. It lies on x axis. 1 2, here both are positive, so this point lies in the first quadrant. Minus 3 minus 5, here both are negative, means it lies in the third quadrant. In this way you can make out in which quadrant the points lie, or on which axis they lie. And here you must plot the point on the plane, choosing suitable units of the distance. You try to plot these points, and also draw the graph of the following linear equation: x plus y is equals to 4, x minus y is equals to 2, y is equals to 3x, 3 is equals to 2x plus y, and you do it. Next, about the area of the parallelograms on the same base and between the same parallels. There you know that they are equal here. Area of parallelograms on the same base and between the same parallels are equal. Here see the figure. Here the parallelogram ABCD and parallelogram EBCE. EBC. Here ABCD and EBCE. They are on the same base BC. They are on the same base BC, and between the parallels BC parallel to AE. So area of parallelogram ABCD is equals to area of parallelogram ABCD is equals to area of parallelogram EBCF. EBCF, because they are on the same base and between the same parallels. Next, if a parallelogram and a triangle are on the same base and between the same parallels, then area of triangle is half the area of the parallelogram. See the figure here. The triangle BEC and parallelogram ABCD are on the same base BC and between the same parallels. Therefore, area of triangle BCE. Area of triangle BCE is equals to half into area of parallelogram ABCD. Next, let us discuss about the circle. You know what is circle? A circle is the collection of all points in a plane which are equidistant from a fixed point on the plane. You know the method of drawing the circle. While drawing the circle, you are taking a fixed point and a fixed distance. And you know that the fixed distance and fixed point, that is fixed point is called the center of the circle. Fixed distance is called the radius of the circle. And here O is the center and OP is the radius. The symbol of radius is R. Now see the figure here. Here there are two line segments PQ and AB. They are the line segments joining the 2 points on the circle, and they are called chord of the circle. Here PQ and AB are the chord of the circle as they are joining the 2 points of the circle. And here there is a chord AB which passes through the center. This chord is called the diameter of the circle. AB is a diameter and it is a chord passing through the center, and it is the biggest chord of the circle. And here OA is radius, OB is also radius. You know that AB is equals to R plus R. AB is a diameter, so diameter is equals to 2R. Diameter of a circle is twice the radius, or radius is half of the diameter. And in a circle, you can draw any number of diameters, and all diameters are equal, and also all radii also equal. Now, you know that A circle divides the plane on which it lies into three parts. They are inside the circle, which is called the interior of the circle, and second one is the circle, and third one is the outside the circle, which is also called the exterior of the circle. Exterior of the circle. Now let us discuss about the perpendicular from the center to a chord. Perpendicular from the center to a chord. See here, O is a center, AB is a chord, OM is a perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord, and here we know that AM is equals to BM. It means the perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord bisect the chord. Or in the vice versa, you can say that the line drawn through the center of a circle to bisect a chord is perpendicular to the chord. That is the line joining the midpoint of the chord and center is perpendicular to the chord. Line joining the midpoint of the chord and the center of the circle is perpendicular to the chord. So here that is one of the important relation you can observe here. Next, about the arc. Here arc is a piece of circle. Arc is a piece of circle between 2 points. Arc is a piece of circle between 2 points. See the points P and Q here. P and Q are the 2 points on the circle, and if it is separated at P and Q, you will get a part of the or piece of the circle between that 2 points P and Q. And here one is the smaller piece and the other one is the larger piece, and the smaller piece is called the minor arc and the larger piece is called the major arc. So arc is a piece of circle between 2 points, and smaller piece is called the minor arc and the larger piece is called the major arc. And if you take a point here A and here B, and arc PAQ is the minor arc and arc PPQ is the major arc. Major arc. Next, let us discuss about the segment of the circle. The region between a chord and arc is called the segment of the circular region. Segment of the circular region. Here you know that arc is there, that is PAB, and also PAQ and PBQ are the two arcs here, and PBQ is the major arc and PAQ is the minor arc, and here there are two regions. One is the region between the minor arc and the chord PQ, and this is called the minor segment, and the region between the major arc and the chord, that is called the major segment. And if the chord is a diameter, if the chord is a diameter, and you know that two pieces between the points are equal and they are called the semicircle, and the segment is called the semicircular region. Semicircular region. Here you can use 4 letters to represent the segment. Here the segments are: minor segment is PAQP and major segment is PBQP. And here if you take again X and Y, here AXBA and AYBA are the semicircular region. AXBA and AYBA are the semicircular region. Now you know the chords. Here if you draw the chords and if they are of the same length and if you measure the distance of the equal chords from the center, you know that equal chords are at equidistant from the center and the chords which are equidistant from the center are equals, that you know already. So equal chords are at equidistant from the center and the chords which are at equidistant from the center are equal. This is about the equal chords. See the figure here. Here PQ is a arc and POQ is the angle at the center, and in this figure PQ is a arc, POQ is the angle at the center and PAQ is the angle at the circumference or angle on the at the circle. And here you know that this angle is called the angle subtended by the arc at the center POQ, and it is the angle subtended by the same arc on the other part of the circle. If you measure them, you measure the angle made by the same arc at the center and in the remaining part of the circle. You know that here angle at the center is double the angle at the circumference. Double the angle at the circumference. The angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. That is angle POQ is double the angle PAQ. That you can verify here. And here this is the angle in the semicircle. The angle in the semicircle is always 90 degree. And here this is the angle POQ, which is a reflex angle, and here angle PAQ is again half of the angle reflex angle POQ. Now angle in the same segment are always equal. Here angle A and angle B are angles in the same segment. They are having the same measurement. Next, about the cyclic quadrilateral. You know that what is cyclic quadrilateral? Quadrilateral whose all vertices lie on the circle. Here the vertices of the quadrilateral PQRS are on the circle. So it is called the cyclic quadrilateral. The spatial property of the cyclic quadrilateral is opposite angles are supplementary. Here the sum of angle S and angle Q is 180 degree. Similarly, angle sum of the angle P and R is also 180 degree. So opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. Surface areas and volume. In 9th standard, you have learned to find the surface areas and volume of solids like square, cuboid, cylinder, cone, sphere, hemisphere, etc. And let us memorize the formulas for the lateral surface area, curved surface area, total surface area and volume of some solids. So here the surface area of cuboid is equals to 2 into LB plus BH plus HL. Here L is the length, B is the breadth and H is the height. Surface area of cube is equals to 6A square. Here A is the edge of the cube. Curved surface area of a cylinder is equals to 2 pi RH. Here R is the radius of the base and H is the height of the cylinder. Total surface area of a cylinder is equals to 2 pi R into R plus H. Curved surface area of cone is equals to phi R L. Here R is the radius of the base and L is the slant height. Total surface area of a right circular cone is equals to phi R L plus phi R square, that is phi R into L plus R. Surface area of sphere of radius R is equals to 4 phi R square. Curved surface area of a hemisphere is equals to, that is half of 4 phi R square, 2 phi R square. Total surface area of hemisphere is equals to 3 phi R square. And volume of cuboid is equals to L into B into H. Volume of a cube is equals to A cube. Volume of a cylinder is equals to phi R square H. volume of a cone is equals to 1 by 3 pi r square h. Volume of a sphere of radius r is equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube. And volume of hemisphere is equals to 2 by 3 pi r cube. These are the formula for the LSA, TSA and volume of the solids. Let us revise the statistics. What is statistics? It is an area of study dealing with the presentation, analysis and interpretation of data. What is data? Data is a facts or figures collected with a definite purpose. So, data is a facts or figures collected with a definite purpose, and statistics is an area of study dealing with the presentation, analysis and interpretation of the data. And you know the method of presenting the data graphically in the form of bar graphs, histograms and frequency polygon. And also you studied about the measures of central tendency for one group of data. They are mean, median, mode. And how will you get the mean? Mean is the sum of all the observation divided by total number of observations. In general, for n observations that you can write x bar, where it is mean, x bar is equals to summation of xy, where I is equals to 1 to n divided by n. That is for n observations. For ungrouped data frequency distribution, the mean, the x bar is equals to summation of fy xi, where I is equals to 1 to n, that is divided by summation of fi, where I is equals to 1 to n. Here fi is the frequency corresponding to the observation xi. Fi is the frequency corresponding to the observation xi, and summation of fy xi, where I is equals to 1 to n is equals to f1 x1 plus f2 x2 plus f3 x3 plus so on plus fn xn. Now about the median. Median is the value of the middlemost observation. Middlemost observation or middlemost score it is. And if there are n scores, where n is the number of scores, then the median can be calculated depending upon the nature of the n. If n is odd, then median is equals to value of n plus 1 by tooth score. N plus 1 by tooth score or observation. And if n is even, then median is equals to mean of the value of n by tooth and n by 2 plus 1th observation. N by 2 plus 1th observation. That is the method of finding the median. Next about the mode. So what is mode? Mode is the most frequently occurring observation. That is the most repeated score or most repeated observation. So this mean, median, mode are the three measures of central tendency. Now let us take an example here. In a mathematics test given to 15 students, the following marks out of 100 are recorded: 41, 39, 48, 52, 46, 62, 54, 40, 96, 52, 98, 40, 42, 52, 60. And here we have to find out mean, median and mode, which are the three measures of central tendencies. To find the mean, so you know that to find mean is equals to, you know that sum of here sum of all the observations divided by total number of observations. Here sum of all observation means you must add all the scores, that is 41 plus 39 plus 48 plus 52 plus 46 plus 62 plus 54 plus 40 plus 96 plus 52 plus 98 plus 40 plus 42 plus 52 plus 60, and that divided by how many scores are there? That is nothing but total number of observations here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 scores are there. 15 observations are there. By adding all this, you will get the sum 822. That divided by 15. So, mean is equals to 822 divided by 15. If you divide 822 by 15, that is 15 5s are 75, then 7 is remaining, 15 4s are 60, 12 is remaining, and 0 you take here, that is 15 8s are 120. So the mean is here 54.8. So you got the mean here. Next, to find median. Here 15 scores are there. So before that, you arrange the scores in descending or ascending order. So let us arrange the scores in the descending order. The first score is here higher score, that is 98, 96, 62, 60, 54, 52, 52, 52, 48, 46, 42, 41, 40, 40 and 39. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 scores are there. So here number of observations n is equals to 15. You know that 15 is odd. 15 is here odd. So to get the median, then median is equals to, you know that when n is odd means that is n plus 1 by tooth score. N plus 1 by tooth score, or n plus 1 by tooth observations. Tooth, right? Observations also. Observation. Then n is here 15 plus 1 by tooth observation. So it is 16 by tooth observation. So it is 2 1s are 2 8s are 8th observation. 8th observation. Here 8th observation is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8th observation is 52. 8th observation is 52. Next, about the mode. Mode means most repeated observations. Before that, you arrange the observations in the descending order, that is 98, 96, 62, 60, 54, 52, 52, 52, 48, 46, 42, 41, 40, 40, 39. 40, 40, 39. Here most repeated score, most repeated observation is, here maximum repeated is 52. It is repeated 3 times. So therefore mode is equals to 52. Mode is equals to 52. So this is about the calculation of mean, median, mode with an example. Now about the probability. So let us discuss about some basic definitions. So that is trial. A trial is a single performance of a random experiment. So what is trial? A single performance of a random experiment is known as trial. It is an action which results in one or several outcomes. Next, sample space. The set consisting of all possible outcomes of a random experiment is known as sample space. And event. A subset of sample space of random experiment is called an event. Next, what is probability? The definition of probability is as follows. Here, let n be the total number of trials and m be the favorable event. The empirical probability P of E of an event E happening is given by, that is P of E is equals to number of trials in which the event happened divided by total number of trials. Number of trials in which the event happened divided by total number of trials. So the probability of an event is from 0 to 1. It may be 0 or it may be 1, and it may be any fraction from 0 to 1. It may be any fraction from 0 to 1. It is about the concepts that you have to revise and memorize to get advanced knowledge in the 10th standard. So the bridge course here, that is a provider of the basic concepts for the 10th standard student.